Yo, what is up? We are back. This is me, No Crypto, and I've got my guest, SwanSong, with us. What's up, Swan?
What's up, crypto? How's it going?
Bro, uh, what a long draft.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people aren't that happy about it. I think it was a pretty good draft. I mean, considering that we're picking late in each round, we don't have our first rounder. Um, Thankfully, we had 2/3, so that was cool. I know that was the round that most people were puzzled about with the reach for the running back, but I mean, we did get it for free, so that's kind of cool. But I mean, I know you shouldn't waste things that you have, but I mean, if you look at that guy, you look at TDP, right? He like when at first I had came back, I had talked to you guys and you're like, yeah, we got a running back of the third. You guys were all pissed off and stuff. And then I pulled up his highlight and I was like, dude, he looks actually pretty legit. I mean, yeah, it was probably a reach, I think. I mean, this guy is with rankings
people are
have gone
saying
all over the place.
people are saying he's got the speed to do the outside zone. He doesn't. I don't think he does.
Well, he is 4.4. He doesn't have the crazy breakaway speed, but he can do it. But I think
I,
he's more of an inside guy, right? Like I
I
think
have
that's
a
where his
feeling.
specialty is.
Hey, I have a feeling. Um, Remember, I don't know if you remember me going on Grant's show, Jack Hammer's show back in the days, talking about jumbo, jumbo, jumbo. Come up first half, hit him with the
Right, right.
jumbo.
I totally remember that.
Everybody they drafted besides Donovan West is almost good to play in jumbo. You know what I mean? They're all big, bulkier guys, right? And move people around.
Yeah, it
It's
seems like it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out in this camp. But I
yeah.
mean, I think he's fast enough to do anything, but I don't think that's what I think because you know how the 49ers do this, man. They're going to, I mean, they didn't do it last year for whatever reason, just because they didn't trust Sermon. And Hasty is pretty much a third round back. So it was freaking ride Elijah Mitchell's until the wheels fell off, right? And I think
I
that's
think
who it's going to
I think
be.
Danny Gray. I think Danny Gray and Ray McLeod. I think that's your
Wide back 2.0.
I think
Is that what
that's
you mean?
your edge. Your edge. Oh, sorry, I didn't keep that up there for very long. This guy stuck at work. Please carry on.
Um, I get it. We're in. So what's it called? So yeah, I mean, I think what I saw from that running back, I was pretty impressed. Like, and then that guy's, at some point he was considered like a top five running back, and then something happened. I don't know the details about it. I know at one point in his sophomore year or something like that, or his junior year, he is regarded as a top five running back.
Yes, I heard
And then
that.
I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why he slipped for whatever reason. I don't know. But I don't think it's that bad. I mean, when you think about it, we got him at the 1-0. No, not 104. We got him at the 93rd pick, right? Pick 93. Am I right? Yeah,
It
he was picked
it doesn't
93.
matter.
Yeah,
It
he was
doesn't
picked
matter.
93. So it's like late in the third
It's fine.
round. So yeah, it's pick 93. He was late in the third round. Yeah, could we have had him like a round in the fourth or even the fifth? Probably. But it is what it is. I'm not too mad about it.
I
I mean, it like people were think about this. Okay, I just one last point. Donovan West, who most 49er fans loved, not me though. I didn't really like that guy, at least for a third. But getting him as a UDFA, hell yeah, I like that. So
so
just think about it.
so this plays into my theory. I was looking at this and I was like, who are these people they're drafting? They don't even know their name, right? So I think that as they were watching the draft, they were going, "There's no way everybody can get everybody." You know what I mean?
Right.
So they're just like, let's reach and go get people who who's stunted and flashed that got on our radar and we want to give a chance, right? And everybody we courted that's still going to be there, we're just going to talk to them, you know what I mean? And we're going to get them signed on later, you know what I mean? And if not, then we got these other guys, right? So they're just like they're pulling in twice as amount. They're drafting the guys they didn't necessarily want to draft, and they're signing the guys UDFA that they essentially intended to draft.
Yeah, I get your theory, but all the guys that they drafted in the first,
not all of them, but
a lot of
some
them in the first. Okay,
like,
so first of all, Drake Jackson.
They didn't know the guy's name.
Drake Jackson, they interviewed. Buford interviewed.
Yes.
TDP, they interviewed. The guy with the weird last name, I don't know. I don't think they interviewed that guy. Danny Gray, they interviewed.
Yep.
Danny Gray, they interviewed. What are the other guys? Tariq Castro Fields, they interviewed. So, I mean, other than that weird guy with the weird last name, but they said they followed him. Adam Peters said that he followed that guy for 4 years.
Kalia Davis. Kalia Davis.
Oh, Kalia Davis.
Defensive tackle.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they interviewed.
What about Samuel Womack?
49ers. They got Samuel. They knew Samuel Womack. Well, part of his radar was the draft guy, and he has a connection with Ambry Thomas, right? Because I guess they played at rival high schools or whatever. 49ers draft visit. So I understand your theory, but I don't think that's how it went.
Rival high schools. That doesn't mean that he's like, oh yeah, you should get him. We played at rival high schools.
No, I'm not saying that's what that means, but I'm just saying that.
So I think
Kalia Davis was part of their visit.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Isn't like some of these guys, I'm like,
not Womack. Womack wasn't.
We got too many acronyms in this draft. Especially ones that start with T. TDP. TCF.
TDP. Ty Davis Price.
TDP. Tyrese Down Production.
Velus Jones would have been nice. They interviewed him. But yeah, so did you want to go down the list and talk about these guys or what?
Yeah, let's do it. You go down first. Kind of.
Okay, so let me look.
And I'll just comment on your thoughts.
Okay, so first is Drake Jackson. We all know that. So my initial thoughts on Drake Jackson, I had heard of because, I mean, I've been doing mocks, for months now, right? And Drake Jackson was a name that would sometimes fall to 61. I even picked him in a mock draft before when he fell to 61. I knew that he went to USC. I knew a couple of stories about him. Yeah, that he was.
He was a beast.
Maturity stories. Maturity stories. That's what scared me, right? And then I saw that he went to Corona High School, and I was thinking, oh man, SoCal kid, Corona, entitled, and I was thinking he goes to USC. I was like, man, I don't know if this is the type of guy the Niners would pick, anyways. But if you look at what scouts say about this guy, and if you watch his highlights and I couldn't say I watched any of his film, but if you watch his highlights, you notice that he has a lot of moves. He has like pretty much the whole repertoire of moves, right? Like, good with his hands, spin move, this and that. He has good bend on the edge, which we love. The one thing that people criticize him about is, his play strength, but he's fast. He's a crazy athlete.
Well,
guy can do somersaults.
There's two different films of him. There's two different films. There's him in his freshman year playing a 4.3, and then there's him in a 3.4.
Right.
And at 250 pounds versus his freshman weight of 275.
Yeah.
So this is a guy you could probably see at 285. You know what I'm saying? They could probably get him at 285, and this guy is gonna be a beast.
Yeah, he's already I think we saw the last thing was like he is 267 already. Like he was at the combine, he weighed 250 something at the combine, And since then, at his pro day, he weighed like 260 something. So he's already putting on the weight.
I want to see how that spin move translates in the NFL because that's one of those moves that you might not be able to get on an offensive tackle in the NFL with their strength. You know what I mean? Like they might be able
Yeah,
to
right.
you doing a move and put a hand out there to kind of
Yeah.
corral you in one spot. So, we'll see how that goes. But even if, let's say he can't do a spin move, right? The speed and his inside cut, his speed to the outside and his cut to the inside are
And he has
nerves.
bend. He has that bend too. So
He's even got like it's not even the bend where you can like hit that angle and kind of come around the corner at the angle, this and that. He like bends in half really nice, like at certain times, and like in wrestling,
he's a total fluid athlete.
when you're wrestling the heavy guys, one of the quickest moves is to wait for somebody's arm to go out like this, and you do a quick duck under, and you kind of put your arm around him, and you duck under, and that's how you kind of yeah. So I mean, like he's really good at doing those duck unders. You know what I mean? And with that speed, I mean that means with the if he does it on the outside and he does a little duck under, that means he's not really touched. So it means he's not slowed down at all, and he's just around with nobody in his way and on the way to the quarterback. This guy could be one of the biggest highlight reels out there, especially with paired up with other beasts on the defensive line like a Nick Bosa and whatnot, because you can only double team probably realistically 2 or 3 people. You know what I'm saying? If you bring everybody in, like, have the running back double team with the one edge, with the tackle on one side, a tight end on the other side, and then maybe an offense center and a guard can, you know what I mean? But at that point, all you have to do is blitz, and it's, you're putting so much resources in there to stop just a couple of people. It's insane at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's the piece that the Niners have been wanting, right? Like,
yes, that speed.
So the thing about also, I mentioned that, but I was worried, I was concerned about this guy being a prima donna, right? And I can see kind of some of that because, when these kids, especially in SoCal, they've grown up this whole time having smoke blown up their butt, right? You know what I mean? So it's like,
yes.
The thing that I learned from him though is that he actually grew up in Compton, so he was a transfer to Corona. So that set my because you don't understand, like Corona, like I'm not saying that is like a rich neighborhood or anything like that, but it is a bedroom suburban community. And I wouldn't say they're rich, but I would say can be upper middle class. They're like big ass homes over there. It's out in the desert. It's a little bit more east. Right? It's not by the beach, because in SoCal, the closer you're to the water, the more expensive the property is going to be, obviously, right? Because, the thing about SoCal is that, actually people go to the beach here. Like in Northern California, not a lot of people go to the beach because the water's damn cold as F, right? In SoCal, the water's a lot warmer, right? So anyways, so he grew up in Compton. He transferred out to Corona, and it wasn't him being so much a prima donna. They were saying he has maturity issues, whatever that means. But he has a good work ethic. Like everything that the USC coach, that whole hot mess that they had over there, he did. Right? He lost 30 pounds to play at a different weight, right? Like, and he did it in a year. So, and then that tells me that, he listens to coaching, he cares about his team, that tells me those things. And those are the things that matter, because he only turned 21 2 weeks ago. So he's super young. He was a true freshman. He came out as a true junior. He's super young. Like, it's funny. He's still a little bit older than Trey Lance. That's what's crazy. But
this is probably a good situation for him, because he's got someone like Trey Lance who he can be like, he can see his same age or younger and see how thing is like, oh shit, I gotta get my together.
Yeah.
Let me go ask this man some tips. You know what
dude.
I mean? Let me start with some small things. Let me work on the little stuff, and then I'll come back and ask him for the bigger stuff a little bit later.
Did you see him do the backflip in the pool?
Yes.
Dude, he came awfully close to the other side of the edge there. I was like, bro, what are you doing? Imagine if he hit the corner, the
Oh
edge of that
God.
pool. Oh my
It
god, I
was
saw that. I was like,
so-
what are you doing, kid? But anyway, so I like this guy. I like this kid. I think that when I saw that, all the weight loss and all that stuff, and that he has a good work ethic and he listens to his coach, that tells me all I need to know. Like, I think the maturity stuff is just him being freaking young. And another thing is, like, dude, if you're a USC kid, because that is a complete party school. Like, USC is like, yeah, it's a fine institution, but it's known for having a lot of spoiled kids, because it's a private school. It's not Stanford, okay? Let's just put it that way. It's not Stanford. I mean, they have a good program, don't get me wrong, but USC, their main thing is film, marketing, things like that. It's not like hard sciences. Like, you don't,
exclusivity.
yeah, you don't go to USC for hard science, right? Um, so and then, yeah, exactly. Like, their nickname, University of Spoiled Children, right? So that's not it's not a lie. But so, anyways, you go to that school. It's a party school. He's the big man on campus, so of course. But he never got into trouble, so that's good. But so, yeah, I'm excited about this guy, dude. I mean, if this guy comes out, and I expect to see him have some play time, because even as he's learning the offense, if you put him in third down situations, what is there to learn? He doesn't have to learn jack. Go get the quarterback.
Right.
He doesn't have to worry about his run responsibility or anything like that. Obvious passing downs. Go get the QB, bro. So
And
that's
and Coach Kosaric can teach him these little itty bitty gems that he can just like that
right.
totally, fix certain parts of his game, or, brings him to another level, to the point where he can really start honing it in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, all those weak
Yeah.
areas in his game, he can start solidifying, you know what I mean? And start, making them strengths instead of weaknesses,
And another thing too is what's going to be good is when he got drafted. I think he was interviewed by Matt Mayoko, and the first thing he said was, because Matt asked him, "Oh, what do you think about Nick Bosa?" And he's all, "Nick Bosa's a beast. I can't wait to come and introduce myself to
Yep.
him and try
Yep.
to learn as much as I can from him, and then he can learn about how professional Nick is, right? Because
Yep.
Nick is the most professional guy on that team, on the
Holy
Niners
sh-
team. You know what I mean? So he can learn how to take
him
care of
and
his
Trey,
body.
him and
What's that?
Trey, him and Trey, I think, are the best in their positions as far as player coaches. You know what I
Right.
mean? I
Right.
like, and Trey might not is probably not there yet, but I'm sure a couple years into, a couple years from now, he'll be able to, essentially teach everybody on the offense every little aspect of the offense, just like Kyle envisioned it, without having to say,
Right.
essentially.
Yeah, you're like a coach on the field.
Right,
Yes.
exactly. And that's how Bosa, because, gosh, he's more of a position coach, Bosa would be, about, he's a Kosaric in
I
the
mean, the
make.
thing about, yeah, what's great about Bosa is he would be the standard of how you take care of your body, like what it takes to take care of your body,
Yep.
nutrition, routine, working
Yeah.
hard, doing all these things that, to get him where he's at. So I think when players see that, and they see, like, dude, this guy is a machine, that will rub off on other players. That's why it's good to have players like this. Just like the same when Jerry Rice was on the team. Like, if you ask Ronnie Lott, if you ask all these guys that played with Jerry Rice, and they're like, what's so great about him is the standard that he sets, that everyone sees him, and they feel kind of like, damn, this guy working this hard, I got to work a little bit harder, You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like,
Or
those
at
things are
least as
contagious.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those things are contagious, right? So I think that, I think Trey brings that, as far as, like, from what we've heard, his film study, his is caring about all those
Let's
type
get
of
back
things.
to the draft. We started talking about players who were drafted
Well,
last
I
year.
mean, I'm just saying, yeah, I'm just
Look,
saying that. I'm just saying
I
that
helped bring it up, bro. I just realized we gone like 20 minutes and we've only talked really about Drake
but
Jackson.
okay. So the next, so I really like the pick 61, right? I think everyone
TDP. Oh, sorry, Drake
no,
Johnson.
yeah,
Yeah.
with Drake. I really think that was a a steal, in a way. Like, I don't think most people thought Drake Jackson would have fallen to 61. And then, so then we get to pick 93, and it's like, okay, sweet. We're probably going to address O line now, I'm guessing, right?
Safety
Because,
or safety.
yeah, or safety. And then a couple of things happened here. Like, of course, Cole Strange got picked at 28, so that took one of the IO in interior offensive line. Jurgens got picked 50 something, I believe. Cam Taylor Britt was the safety / slot corner. He got picked before our 93 pick. And then
Yes,
right
right
at
before.
pick 92 went to the Green Bay Packers, and they got Sean Ryan, who was also a guy, and he's an offensive tackle at UCLA that the Niners interviewed. That he was one of my draft crushes as well. Like, I remember I was telling you about Sean Ryan, like how he's built, and like he's built like a freaking. He looks like a big tree trunk, right? He's like just a trunk of a guy. He's not like his body type is just husky. He looks like a Creed Humphrey, not like a Aaron Banks. You know what I
I
mean? Like,
gotcha.
he's just yeah. So then once that guy got took, I think at that point maybe the Niners reached. I mean, they did reach, but maybe at that point they were like, okay, we would have gotten Sean Ryan, would have gotten Cam Taylor Britt, or even Cam Jurgens, but since they're off, who's next on our board that we have to get. So at that point, that's probably when they saw TDP.
I think they clutched their pearls and they were like, get the running back we want right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then immediately next, it was like Danny Gray right now.
Right.
Okay. And it's like, okay, now we got everybody, and now let's start over and figure out what we can do now. I think that's where it was. You know what I mean?
I think at that point, 93, of all the players that they interviewed, getting that at 93 would have been a reach. So then they did interview TDP. But from what they had left,
doesn't this draft look like they were ready to replace Debo?
So I don't think it's so much replacing. Okay. So like with Debo, right?
Ray McLeod, right? And then you had Danny Gray along with it, right? And then you get Tyron Davis-Price, as a running back to kind of, get the legs there. And then you got Mitchell and Trey Sermon. You know what I mean? You got legs there, right?
Okay. So if you're trying to say to me that they're doing this as their plan B if Debo is gone, I don't think that was their motivation. I think their motivation is to make the team better. Now, I don't think it was in their plan at all to run Debo as much as they did, right? The reason why they ran Debo as much as they did is because they didn't have an explosive back that they trusted, right? Elijah Mitchell, by the time Debo
didn't get an explosive back, they could have got Cook at 61, but he got taken.
Yeah, right. And James Cook, and James Cook is a smaller dude. You know what I mean? Like,
but he's got that one cut, that outside zone speed.
Yeah, he does have that.
He's not an everyday down back, so he would be perfect in the running back by committee. You know what I mean? You can run it up the gut with Mitchell and
when did Cook go?
I want to say 94, 95, something like that.
So they passed on getting Cook and got TDP instead.
Oh, sorry. 62 or 63 or 64, something like that.
All right. So he wasn't around, right? So he wasn't around. So I think from what they had,
if you wanted to get your Raheem Mostert, that was Jake Cook.
I'm not sure if he's that fast. I don't think he's that fast.
The closest thing to it as far as with the running ability. You know what I'm saying? Like being able to see the hole, hit the edge. He was the dude. You know what I mean? That's closest.
He's a 4.42 guy, right? That's pretty fast. But what's it called? Was it TDP? Taysom?
And look, I don't go by
What's his name? Tyson. Yeah,
Tyron Davis.
you don't go by 40 speed, right?
Yeah,
But um
because
he
look at Leon um, O'Neal.
okay, so let me just tell you
Doesn't have
something.
that horrible 40 time, but guess what? You see on the field, he's getting there
Okay,
in time. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, let me tell you something though. James Cook's let me try to look at this. Did you know that TDP's 10-yard split is crazy fast?
Oh, I think you told me this.
Yeah.
That
It's 1.53.
okay.
Like and to put it in reference, Tyreek's is 1.50. Like Homeboy's fast. He's quick. And he has long speed too because he ran his 40 and 4.48. I mean, that ain't slow. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Oh shoot!
I mean, James Cook wasn't there anyways. I personally like this guy better than James
What
Cook
up,
for the
minded?
49ers. I personally like this guy better than James Cook for the 49ers, but that's me. I like he brings an element to the running attack that we don't have right now.
He's
I
got a
mean, you can,
patience. He's got a patience to him in the hole.
yeah,
Like you can see him wait for the blocks to take, and he's very calm and patient, and he knows where they are. And the moment it opens up, he's already through it. So
yeah, and his running style is a trip because he does he does the one cut, the first cut, but when he's going into and out of traffic, he kind of like swerves his body. He kind of just swerves and keeps his top speed. He doesn't do any more aggressive cuts as he's running through traffic. He kind of like leans into holes. I don't know. If you watch the runs, that's what you should see, or
he
that's what I
morphs.
see.
He morphs through the hole.
Yeah. So I like him. I like him. I mean, who knows? They probably could have got him a round or two later, but I'm glad that he's on this team. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, whatever. But to me, I'm excited about him. I think he brings an element that we haven't seen in a while. I think they wanted Sermon to be like that. I think. I don't even know what they wanted of Sermon, but this guy looks more of a bruiser than Sermon does, right? He looks more of like a north and south runner, that could add punishment, that could
I don't
punish
know.
you.
I don't know if Sermon actually knew what was going on.
Yeah, we don't. I also heard something about Sermon pouting after one of the games that he didn't get any carries and he was like on the field forever. He was pouting. So I think when that happened, there is no way Shanahan was going to relent to that, right? When you have a player like
Yeah.
pouting about his touches and like
No, no.
being like that.
I get that, but also at the same time, like when I watched him, like it looked like he was just trying to run in the first thing that looked like a hole. Like he didn't know where the hole was going
Oh,
to
okay, I
be.
see what you're saying. Yeah,
You know what I
I don't
mean?
know. Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I haven't seen enough to know to make a judgment on that. But
No, you're
when I
good.
heard that story about him pouting for not getting touches, that's that's the last thing that that's the last thing that you're going to do to get yourself on the team. To get touches,
Yeah.
right?
What coach would be like? Oh yeah, let me go out there and put a shoulder over or arm over that guy's shoulder real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah. Maybe Dick Vermeil, maybe. But yeah, that wasn't going to happen with Kyle, dude. No way. But that's a good. I mean, he's a rookie. He learns. We'll see. Right now, it's like eh, I like Sermon personally. I like what he could bring, and I hope he still finds a way. But I'm really excited about this running back. I want to actually see what this looks like. What kind of sucks is that with running backs, you really can't see crap in camp because they don't tackle, right? So we're not going to really see how he does until preseason. You're not going to see, like with running backs, it's so hard to tell if they're any good until tackling happens, especially for that guy. Where his game is about physicality, right? So,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yep.
so our
Also, same thing with offensive linemen. Until you get the pads on, it's like
yeah,
So you don't really get that good of a. I
Yeah.
mean, every defensive man on one drills looks like a pro. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Every offensive
Not
lineman looks
fair.
like a rookie. Yeah,
Yeah. Totally not fair.
it's the only thing you can do is try and push on them enough to the point where they fall to a knee, and then you hope you can sprawl on them. You know what I'm saying? That's all. That's all you can do is try and push them off balance. You know what I mean? That's all they because you can't get in front of them. You
Yeah.
know, like
So
unless they
then,
got some honking man boobs that you can, grasp. You know what I mean? You're just saying.
I'm sure most of 49er fans were really pissed off at this point, right? And we get to pick 103, and we get to 103. What 49er minded you? Oh, you don't. Was that not true?
No, no. I think he was saying. I think he was laughing that you said he was on the thing pouting. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like the fact that you said pouting. You know what I mean? He was like,
oh, yeah.
"What a little child."
so um so then we have, at that point, all 49er fans are losing their minds, right? And then they pick up Danny Gray. And I'm sure at that point, everyone was really excited. Everyone became like pissed off and then like excited because most people had Danny Gray mocked, right? I think all of 49er universe had him mocked at that point. Danny Gray was a guy that at the Senior Bowl, killed it. He like burned everyone, right? Like if you look on his one-on-one drills, I don't think there was a guy he lost to. But if you looked at the one-on-one drills, also is that he dropped a lot of passes. Like he would burn them, and then it would get kind of contested, and he didn't make catches. And then if you look at his scouting report, if you read, it says dropped would be touchdown passes in 2020 and 2021. So that is something that he definitely needs to work with. Um, Also, another thing about Danny, and I noticed this too, is that when he was running, that inside post route where they run, he's on the right side of the field, they run and they make a post right into the middle of the field and get
Yes.
separation, right? Like Jerry Rice has been doing that his whole career there. But when Jerry used to do it, he used to do this fake where he would fake to the right and then post up in, right? So Jerry would always get crazy separation. Like if you look at all his highlights when he's in that post, he even did it on the Raiders. When he did that post, he was like always open by like 5 yards, right? You see Danny Gray, he's super fast and he's running this post and he's barely getting any separation because he didn't do any tricking at the point where
Tough
he's going to
route.
make it, yeah, at the top of route. He just wanted to go straight burning, so that I'm sure can be taught, obviously, right? Because he didn't even try to. So,
See,
I
that's
mean,
where he could use that burner speed to totally get onto the other side of the person, and then when they go out that way, then he just comes off and goes that way, and then you
yeah,
know what I mean?
dude, because with Danny Gray, it's not one of those things where, oh yeah, he's just 40 time fast. You could see it. You could see it. Like he has another gear, dude. That when he takes off, he takes off. The thing about it is, though, if you're not tricking guys, though, a lot of these guys are fast as well. You know what I mean? A lot of these DBs are fast as well. So, and they get to touch you. They get to touch you here and there. So you're always never going to be separating if you don't have a changeup. So he has to have a curveball changeup in his route to get people to bite, and then he kills them with his speed. You know. So then, so I think my concerns with him is the hands mostly. I think the route running, once he gets on an NFL team and he starts talking with the other receivers and all that stuff, he'll get better at that. Hands
He's got
though,
that vision. He's got that vision too. So once he catches it, he's got that whole.
right? That's another
I
thing. That's a good
I
mention.
run
Good thing that you brought
15
that up.
yards this way, and then all I need to do is run 5 yards back this way for the touchdown. Like he
Yeah,
can see everything we see from up top. He can see field level. You know what I mean? He
yeah,
knows exactly depth
one
wise.
of one of the things on his scouting report too, it says that he's really dangerous when he has the ball in his hand. So
Yes.
that's a great thing. That's more yak for you, you
Well,
know. So
he reminds me a lot of like Debo and how he runs. You know what I mean? With how he sees the field. That's one of
yeah,
the reasons why
yeah.
Debo. That's one of the reasons why Debo is so nasty is because he sees the holes. You know what I mean? He
Yeah, he sees
sees
the
the
holes and he
gaps.
has an extra gear. Like he can get
Yes,
from 0 to like a first
110.
PC. Yeah, yeah, he can get there
Well,
really
he
quick.
goes from 0 to 60,
Yeah,
and you're
fast.
like, okay, and then he drops it to 90 real quick, and then gets the catch, and then you're in the dust.
Yeah, it's hard to take Debo down too, So it's like not only has that crazy burst, he's a thick body, and you're not just you better be squared up if you're gonna have a chance to tackle Debo. Um, so I think all these guys, you got TDP and you got Danny. I think you're not going to need Debo as much to go run from the backfield, right? You're not you have other people that can do that, right? Um, so I think at this point when they got 103, I think people were like, okay, cool, I'm happy with that. I mean, some of us were like, okay, next pick is has to be an offensive lineman, right? Next pick has to be an offensive lineman. Like they've totally ignored it, and I believe their next pick was at 134. They
Yes,
got
Spencer.
Spencer Buford. I did hear of this guy. I at the beginning when the draft started, I started noticing a trend that hey, Niners are picking everyone that they interviewed. So if we want to predict who they're going to get next, look at the visits, right, and look at what our needs
Our
are.
needs
So
are.
well, that got weird. So then if you look what the offensive line that was next on their list, it would have been natural if you looked on the list is Spencer Buford, and he was the next pick. So Spencer Buford, I didn't watch any. I've seen him in mock drafts, right? I've seen that name. I never really looked into him, but I guess he played mostly at that tackle in college. But he also played. But his size is more of like a guard size. He's 6'4". He does have long length though, so he has his long arms. So that's probably why he can get away with playing tackle in college. If you look at some of the highlights that he has, he plays pretty nasty. He likes to throw people to the ground, like kind of like Trent Williams does. Where he just when that if
Dude,
the pass
we got
rusher
a
comes,
couple of guys. We got a couple of guys
yeah,
now to toss people. They're just
yeah,
mean, aggressive. They're trying to prove a point. They're trying to hit you so hard your mama has a stutter. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
they are, and I love that feisty. You know what I mean? Like especially on the offensive line. Defensive linemen are dogs. They're dogs. And if you don't have some dog in you on the offensive line, you're going to be taken advantage of.
yeah.
It's
And
kind of,
supposedly he's pretty smart. So I remember John Lynch had even said that he might even be able to go to be competing at center as well. So that's good. More versatility towards the line. I personally think um,
you 6'5" center.
6'4". He's 6'4".
Well,
Um,
I'm seeing. I got 6'5", 295. So with cleats
so
on, he's gonna be 6'5".
I think you could still have that as center. But so anyways, I mean, they have a lot to choose from right now at center, right? I mean, a lot of people that can fight for that position, right? If Matt's not there, you got Brendel, you got of course Donovan, you have this Buford guy. Am I missing someone? Oh, and that other
Yes.
guy, the guy with the weird last name. Oh, and then Poe. You got Poe and the guy with the weird last name. Um,
Zakel.
yeah.
There's
So
also. Hold on. We also signed. Did you see that they signed the Boise State running back?
I don't even know who that is, man.
Cyrus Hababi. Here, you know what?
Yeah,
I am
this is one
just.
of the UDFA guys, right?
Yeah, probably guys we should be taking a look at though. I think at some point in time.
But yeah,
Do you want to try
so
and?
then well, I just
Hey, do you want to?
don't you want to get through
Do you
this
want to?
list first?
Sure, but do you want to like go through? I got the undrafted free agents list right here. I was wondering if you wanted to like uh, go through the. Maybe try
Do you
something.
want to finish all the rounds first before we get to UDFA?
I thought we had gone through them. Oh, I guess we
No, we
missed.
got Buford. We got Buford. After Buford, I believe it was it Tariq Castro Fields was next?
Here, let me
Or
share
was it
that.
the other lineman? Okay, let's see. So after Buford was no Samuel Mack, the slot corner. So there's a slot corner. He's 5'10", 4'3", something, 40. What we think is a slot corner, anyways. He's like pretty much the exact same build as K-Want, maybe a little bit heavier, a little bit faster. So it looks
Aren't
like
both the
he's.
aren't both the cornerbacks they picked up in the draft both slot corners to you?
They could be. I think Tariq he's a little bit. I think he could probably be outside as well. He's 6 feet.
He
So
seems like he's a
6 feet,
tweener.
6'1".
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So
Like he's a little bit of a tweener.
he'll
That
definitely
long-
probably be competing for that position. That's probably going to be the most exciting position during camp to watch is slot corner. Who wins that slot corner?
That's
Especially
gonna
now
be.
with Verrett.
I heard who was it? Fish and Grant Cohn were talking about Brett coming back and playing in the slot.
I mean, I don't know if that's what the plan is.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
seems to me like I don't know.
okay, like
He
so. Do
really
you
walked
really want
inside.
to think about it
Yeah,
this way? Do you really want a guy that gets injured all the time playing slot?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'd rather have him going back and forward instead of side to side. It made
Yeah.
no sense to me. And also thinking like, yeah,
And
like
49ers, remember, 49ers run slot has to do a lot of run fits.
well, and like yes, your top speed goes down as you age, but your side to side speed's probably gonna decrease faster. I would think. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
it's not
I
like
don't know. I don't know where they plan to put Verrett. Maybe he does go compete at slot as well. Or he just goes.
what would you think if he took free safety, and we let Jimmy Ward play strong safety?
I don't know. I mean,
Because he's smart. He's Brett's smart. He knows what's going on. So when he sees certain things going on, he knows where the ball's going. So he might be able to actually intercept more. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I mean, that kind of makes sense in a way, but I don't know if you get some guy that's never played safety before. Pretty sure he's smart and all that, but I don't know. I don't know what they plan to do with him. But if I had to guess, he's probably gonna play, outside corner because that's what he's done all his career. Maybe he makes this switch into inside. I don't know. Mosley's actually done it. I don't know if Verrett has done it in his career, and Verrett's not a big dude either, but he's like 5'9". But so I don't know how if Verrett's ever played slot corner. Um, I mean, we know what he can do on outside corner, so who knows? Who knows where that is going to go? But
and
it's
then
cool to have him though because it's just an extra cornerback that we know, and they probably not paying him. They're probably paying him probably vet minimum. Like he's probably getting
yeah.
paid $1 million or something, and that's it, right? Um,
So Samuel Womack, we talked about Nick
yeah.
Zakiel.
I have no idea about this guy other than they were watching him for 4 years. If you look at his size, I think he played tackle as well. That they could move to guard.
Yeah,
I
guard
have no idea.
tackles.
Yeah, he looks pretty athletic from what I've seen.
He's got guard height.
Yeah.
Wait, no, he doesn't. He's
So
tackle.
what's it called? I think he's pretty athletic. After that is the Davis guy, Kalia Davis, who I guess started as a linebacker and then went to defensive end and then finally landed at defensive tackle. He's got a weird body type where his legs are like skinny for a man that weighs 340 pounds, or whatever he weighs. He's got really kind of bird legs almost for his body type. Kind of weird. But he's explosive. He is a coming off an ACL injury though, so
He's
I
a,
don't expect
a
him.
DJ Jones type.
Yes, he's going to be a. If I had to guess with this guy, he's probably going to be on injury reserve. Like that's how he's going to make the roster, right? Because
Yeah.
he's probably going to be on injury reserve, and then maybe he gets activated if they need him. If not, then he probably just stays on injury
Halfway through the
reserve.
season.
Yeah. This is like pretty much his redshirt year, right? Um,
But
he
that's
would have
good for him.
gone. Yeah, that's good. He would have gone around earlier. I heard if he was healthy. So it's like one of their deals where 49ers don't have a lot of holes, right? And sure, they probably could have gotten a safety here or whatever because I think they drafted a safety later on. But that tells me maybe they have other
Oh,
ideas at safety. Yeah. So like a thing that everyone has been talking about safety, but one of the things is if they don't bring back Tart, right? Maybe they feel Odom and Hafunga are fine at the strong safety because with Travarius Ward, they might not need the strong safety to do so much of babysitting on that side of the field at corner. You know what I mean? What
Oh,
does
sorry. I
49er
was
mean
reading.
by what does 49er minded mean at showed their cards? In what context is he talking about?
I don't know. I don't know. Can't recall a time when the 49ers were this stacked at corner. I don't want to compare it to 1994 Super Bowl team, but
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah,
think of a more stacked corner.
yeah. I don't think.
Well,
Yeah, I don't think we've ever had. The only reason why is that you can't. I mean, of course, it's hard to do at '94 because we had the best cornerback of all time, or considered one of the best of all time, and we don't have that in our squad right
let's
now.
keep going down this list so we can get into some of the undrafted free
Yeah.
agents because there's
So
names
then
here
after
we
that,
didn't see.
after that you have Tariq Castro Fields, pretty big size corner, 6 feet. I think it's 6'1", 194. He's a little bit thicker guy. He could be competing at slot. I think all the
Seems like
corners that we.
he was really seems like he was really excited to come to the Niners too, which I always like it when people are really like
Yeah,
happy to be a Niner out of everybody. You know what I mean? It's something.
yeah, a lot of these
Maybe
guys were.
it was a
Yeah,
coach or something. They had some kind of thing where like that's the team I want to play for. You know what I mean? Like yeah. So
right. Yeah, so all these guys seem like good kids. Like I saw the Danny Gray. Danny Gray was like literally telling Jade, "I'm ready to work. I'm ready to work right now. You got a dog. You got a dog." Saying all this
yeah,
stuff. I think with Tariq Castro, it's probably the same type of stuff. And then, so the last pick they got, and Tariq Castro came from Penn State. That's a good program, dude. They got
yes, it
defenders
is.
there. Um,
And also
and
our
then,
friend Aaron Joseph, big fan
oh
of him,
yeah,
right?
right. He loves Penn State.
Yeah,
Um,
shout out to Aaron.
you got Yeah, and then you got Brock Purdy, who's the last quarterback taken. He played 4 years.
He's,
He's
he's one
like
of like
a
6
limited.
quarterbacks taken.
Yeah, he's a limited quarterback, but he has played a lot of games,
Yes.
so that's great. It's good. I was really happy when I saw that because it let me know that the writings on the wall that most likely Jimmy's not going to be on this team, but Jimmy's like a cockroach. He can survive freaking nuclear winter. So who
Nuclear
knows?
winters,
Yeah,
bro. Oh my
yeah, dude.
god.
This guy is like the gum under your shoe that you just cannot get rid of. You literally cannot get rid of him. So
Yeah.
that's cool. I mean, Brock Purdy's. I mean, they needed it. I mean, I said it to people that would listen is that the Niners probably going to draft the QB because they need someone to play in the practice squad, right? And the hard thing about Shanny's system is that you can't just get a quarterback and plug and play right away, right? That's why they paid Sudfield so much too, $2 million, because there's not a lot of QBs out there that you can get to be that knows the Shanahan system where he can actually run the system. There's just not a lot of them that exist. And if they exist, they're already the backup for that team that needs them. You know what I mean? So it's like that's how Sudfield gets value. That's how this Purdy guy will get value. You learn the system, and now you're set because now there's what 7 or 8 teams that run the Shanny system. So any of these guys have a injury to their starting quarterback or their even their backup quarterback, they could get Purdy off the practice squad, right?
Yep.
So they could do that. So um, I think it's very valuable. If I was a kid coming out, I'd want to learn the Shanny system just because a lot of teams use it now, and there's not a
And
lot
going
of teams
forward,
that
a lot more might.
right. And then you're not competing against everyone. You're not competing against other quarterbacks that run spread or run this or run that.
Yep.
So
You're
it's
only
like
beating the other ones in the Shanahan system for the
right,
most part.
right, because
There's
it's the most
certain
yeah,
situations.
because it's a wordy system that takes a while. It's just
There's a
the
lot
way
of
it
moving
is, right?
parts,
Yep, a
literally.
lot of moving parts, a lot of stuff
Yep.
happening during motions. So yeah, so then we get to the undrafted free agents who it seemed
Let me
like
share that list.
they drafted like 10, 15 people. I remember I was talking to people that said, Swan, I don't think they're going to draft 9 people because we don't have the roster spots. And I told them, well, like I get what you're saying, but at the same time, you can just refresh what's in your practice squad with the new bodies that you like and make it a competition. Right? You got guys that have been on that practice squad for now 2 or 3 years that were rookie 2 or 3 years ago that haven't made it to the team. Well, you draft a bunch of younger guys and see if those guys will refresh those guys, and then what's it called? Maybe they can make the team. Maybe these new crop of guys can make the team. So I wasn't surprised that they drafted all 9. I wasn't surprised that they went crazy. I actually was a little surprised that they went that crazy in the UDFA market because they got a lot of guys. It seemed like they got as many
Yes,
guys as
they
they
did.
drafted.
So defensive tackle Kevin Atkins out of Fresno State, linebacker
No
Darren
idea.
Gamel, North Carolina. Who's with this for? Running back Cyrus Habibi Licanino from Boise State. This is Oregon running back. Why is it by Boise State over here? Oh, I guess he must have transferring from Oregon. Okay, I guess read everything. Cornerback Taylor Hawkins from San Diego State. We got defensive back Montrez Knight out of UCLA. Wide receiver Taysir Mack from Pittsburgh. Excuse me. Wide receiver Tay Martin from Oklahoma State. We're going to have to put some of these wide receivers there, Swan. Linebacker Seagum Aliboy. Man, here we go. The safety Leon O'Neal. Name Jason Poe. Oh, this guy. Sam Schluter out of Minnesota. I think he's going around, right? Schluter.
I've never seen that guy in my life.
Oh, okay. 6'6", 325. Holy moly. I'm telling you, they're getting big. I think we're running more power this year. Tight end. Oh, look at this. Tight end Garrett Walson. And then Don West. That's it. So there's hell more people at it. Like 2 more running backs. And like 3 wide receivers. More wide receivers, 2 running backs. He tackle 2 linebackers. And I think it's like 2 E's and 1 are back. And Defense lineman. Jeez.
Yeah, so the two
Now,
notable names is Donovan West, right? Everyone he
yeah.
was projected at third or fourth round or something as a center. Um, I'm not sure why he dropped so much. I personally never liked him that much at all. I like the other ones better. I thought that his body type was weird to me. Um, but supposedly he's smart. He wrestled. That's a
Well,
big thing.
he's for his size. He's not. I don't think he's ready. I think he needs to bulk up more before he can. I think he would get thrown around.
Well, he's like 300 pounds or something like that, right? He's like
Yeah.
300 pounds.
Some
He's
of
like
those
six
pictures made
three.
he looked like
Let's
Mike
see.
Lynchy to me.
296 pounds, 6'3", 296. So yeah, he could gain some weight. His arms are decent length, 33 arms, 9.5. His
Yep.
40 was a 5.27. But so yeah, so he's supposedly a smart guy. I like that he wrestled. Um, he looks slow to me, like long speed. Supposedly he has good burst, but he looks slow long speed. Like for being a 290 something pound guy, he ran a pretty slow 40, and you could see it. Like if you look at his 40 and how he runs, it looks it just doesn't look great, man. He looks very slow. There, like here, can I share my screen?
Yeah, I was about to
Okay,
start
so
looking at some of
let
these wide
me
receivers.
let me go to share my screen. How do I do this again? I go
Should
under
be on the
share.
bottom. It should be.
Yeah, I see her.
Yep.
Okay. Uh,
And share the microphone, Microsoft Edge tab, and not your whole screen. That's the pro tip.
Okay, share. Screen sharing works best now, whatever.
Not the
I'm
one with
going
your
to
bank
go to.
statements.
Oh, I don't know. Don't worry, I got nothing to hide. I got double auth anyways. It doesn't matter. Um. Okay. So here we are. Like, dude, his running, bro. It looks, to me, anyways. Look at this. Like, bro, he looks like he's trying real hard with his head, and his body ain't moving. Like, am I the only one that sees this? Do you see this?
Yeah,
Like, I don't know. He looks like he got lead feet, bro.
but he's not running 40 yards in the thing.
Yeah,
So like
I
right about
understand. I understand that, but I'm just saying that his running doesn't look great. But
why don't you play some game clips?
okay, so let's see. We want to go to what? Donovan
Highlights.
Okay, here we go. He looks skinny right there. Looks even skinnier right there. Looks like he gained some weight for the combine, probably. Because he looks thin here. Right? Like he looks super thin. I mean, maybe that's one of the reasons why he slipped, dude. People didn't like how he moved or something. I don't know. Because how could you go from a third to fourth grade, you know, and not even get picked up? But anyways, I mean, as a UDFA, he looks a lot thinner here than he was at the combine. So
Yeah.
maybe that's what he was doing. That he was gaining weight, so he didn't get on that scale at 275. And they're like, "What? Center at 275? Hell no!" You know. But
Yeah.
anyways, so then how do I stop sharing here? Stop. Okay, here we go. So there's him, and then the other pick, of course, is what everyone liked is um O'Neal, right? He's a thumper type of safety. Didn't run a good 40, but he looks fast on film. Um, he hits hard. And
It
the
doesn't
one
look
thing
like
about
he's fast. He just looks like he can move adequately.
Yeah, I mean, when I see him, it doesn't look like he's slow, right? But the thing about it, what I was saying though, is that if the 49ers do not plan to bring Tart, do not plan to bring another safety, then they might be okay with a strong safety that does specialty is the box, is tackling, because if Travarius Ward can be left on an island, then you don't need a safety net as much, right? Like, so maybe that's what their plan is that they have a more traditional strong safety that sure he's going to have to do some covering, but for the most part, his responsibilities are towards the line of scrimmage, right?
So,
So
so this is Taser Mack. This is one of the undrafted free agent wide receivers we got. Oh no, we'll figure out here once. I'm guessing it's him. Let's see what number he is. He's number 11. Doesn't he?
it's breaking up for me. Like it's choppy.
Oh, is it break? That might be an issue. Hold on.
I'll share. What's his
Let me.
name?
Hold on.
Taste.
Oh my god. I got the clip right here. Just give me a second, and I'll send you the.
Okay, so let's see.
Here, let's see. How about you share it? Let's see if that cut down on the sketchiness of it for everybody. It seemed like that the second catch that on that clip, it seemed like, I don't know. It seemed like he knew where he was going with when he had the ball in his hand. Oh.
Oh, it's not sharing it for whatever reason.
No, it was up there and then it went bye-bye.
Into Ohio territory, gain of 23.
Man coverage, pressure comes, solid pickup in the backfield by Malik Carter. That allows Kenny Pickett to exploit that man.
So supposedly this guy was Kenny Pickett's.
And another pretty catch. This time it's Taysir Mack.
I don't think he was the number one target because the number one target actually just transferred to
These guys are
USC.
catching everything.
Well, hey, he can make a diving catch.
He goes down the middle and he's got a first down. It's Taysir Mack.
Oh, now it's breaking up for me.
State with 12 catches. You're in UCF territory.
I mean, he doesn't look small.
The tailback Carter.
Whoa, that was a huge hit.
It's a first down for
He doesn't look huge either.
How about the
Looks like he's
No.
probably 5'11", 6 feet maybe.
Kenny Pickett to throw. Pickett down the middle.
Looks like he played mostly slot.
Looks like he can catch crazy passes. Trey's going to love him.
Mack is down at the bottom of the screen, and that's the way the ball
Hands
goes.
catcher.
Taysir Mack toward the sideline. The ball came out, but it looks like he had possession for a first down.
The ground, so he doesn't have to complete a process. It simply, does he have possession? He's got possession. He's out of bounds. That's a catch.
From the 30. Pickett down the middle.
6'2".
Just outside of the 10.
You don't look like you're 6'2".
Malik Carter is the running back. Patty from his head
And he
zone.
can pick it right out of the sky.
Up there at midfield. Sear Mack on the business end, and that's into Delaware.
You know
Real
what?
estate, 46 yards.
12 catches
Is
against
Kenny
Penn State,
Pickett that
6
good?
against
Or
UCF, and he just
is
keeps
his
on coming.
receivers
A
that
great
good at
job.
making
Has
up
to
for
go
his
back and get it adjusted.
issues?
Third down for this defense after that touchdown offensively.
You know what I'm saying? Because he had to like almost back shoulder that throw. He had to like turn around and put it in his wastebasket.
Well, they blitzed, and they really have no choice. There were too many times late in the first half.
Yeah, he looks okay. He looks like a camp body.
Natty uncorks it on the run and caught. Sear Mack made the catch at the 15, slow to get up, 48 yards on the connection. 3rd and 7. Natty, end zone.
But yeah,
Hey,
Sear Mack on the
hey,
touchdown.
he's gonna be the new third down and short, the third down guy. He's gonna be the Juwan Jennings in like 2 years. I'm telling you.
oh, you mean after we don't re-sign Juwan Jennings? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't know what goes on there. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. I mean,
Can't
we
pay-
still have Ray McLeod. We got Debo. We got Ayuk. We have, who am I missing? Who did we draft? Danny Gray.
Danny Gray. God, that's gonna look amazing when he's out there with Ayuk and then Debo. And then put Jawan Jennings out there. That's a nasty setup. And Kittle on the other side.
Yeah, like when they want to do 4 receivers and a tight end.
Yeah. That should be nasty. Because then you can always motion one of them into the backfield as a running back. You know what I'm saying? Now your 5 wide receiver is now, well, you would Jawan Jennings. Could you do a 22 personnel?
Yeah. Oh, we didn't talk about Poe. That's another guy we didn't talk about.
Poe. Oh God, I love Poe. Did you want to bring up some Poe highlights? I like watching.
I like watching the one where he's catching passes. You know, where he's in that passes.
He's what I've been looking for. I was like, we need a guy who can catch passes on sneak plays.
Remember how we lined up Trent Williams as fullback?
Yes.
I could see them doing that with this guy.
Yeah. Why not? A fullback tight end. Fullback tight end. That's what I would use this guy as. Fullback and tight end. And I would seriously run him as a fullback for probably the first half of the game. And I would want to, it popped up, but it didn't stay. I would want to just break linebackers with him. Imagine him going through the hole and just soften up the linebackers. And then in the second half of the game, you could put use check in to do all the crazy stuff with, you know what I mean? To pass to and do all this stuff. And he can light people up, man, this and that, you know what I mean? And on the outside zone, do all that crazy stuff. And then, first half, it's Poe. So aggressive. And boom.
Dude, look at this. What move is this? Look at that, him backpedaling. That looks so weird. 61.
Yeah, it's
that's not how they're supposed to backpedal, right?
It all depends.
It's so weird. He looks like he should be in a wider base than that.
No, because he's not trying to stop him, essentially. He's trying to draw him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like a screen. It's just funny.
Yeah, he's just trying to stay in front of him and trying to block him and just trying to show him, hey, this is what we're doing. Because the moment he's ready to go, that's when he's going to get low and spring. You know what I mean?
Dude, this guy, dude, a man should not move that quick at 300 pounds, bro. He's such a fluid athlete, dude. Yeah, he's gonna be interesting.
This guy
Because
was like, you know what? I want to be an offensive lineman, but I want to be an offensive weapon too. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Look at that. He just comes and hits people. Like he's always looking to shove people to the ground. Look at that. He's always trying to put somebody on the ground. Anytime he touches somebody, he's trying to leave a welt. You know what I'm saying? These are guys that I like because it's demoralizing. Not that, defensive players in the NFL can't take the abuse from a guy like this, but it's demoralizing every play when you know that's going to be a big ass bruise. You know what I mean? That's going to be a big ass bruise. You know what I mean? That's going to be tender tomorrow. Every time you come up against a guy, you know what I mean? And then, some people that's going to wear on them mentally and they're going to quit. You know what I mean? And that's when you won.
yeah, he's gonna be he ran a sub 40, a sub 5-second 40.
A sub 40.
Oh, this he looks really good. This is when I first saw him in these drills. I was like, damn, that guy's an offensive lineman. That's Tyler Smith in the black shirt back there, the guy that was picked by the Cowboys. This guy right here, the guy in the black shirt was picked by the Cowboys at pick 25, I think. Look at that, dude. He's so nimble. Dude, those yellow shoes makes me feel like he's running with Crocs or something.
That's hilarious. Like, what's the name of that chef that got canceled because he was also, plus, it seems like everybody loves this guy. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think because people that saw that he,
Bro, wait,
saw some
go
of the,
back. Oh, you should have gone back to I think we saw the thumbnail for this show in your menu.
I'd already closed the window.
You're good, bro. I was just
Yeah, yeah, it is. Name me, I'll share it to you. I see it right here. Here.
there we go. With SwanSong. That's this show right now, pal. That's crazy.
But yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. Let's see what happens.
What's your surprise best pick or surprise best player out of this draft thing? UDFAs and draft. Who's your favorite surprise?
Okay, so not like pick 61 doesn't count, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, because you felt like you were actively mock drafting that. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, I see. I see what you're saying. Your sneaky sleeper hit, right? I'm gonna go with TDP. That's gonna be my surprise. Yeah. Sup, baller? Yeah, I'm gonna go with Tyson whatever Price. I'll never know his name. I should know his name because he has the same first name as I do. But okay, so Tyson.
Well, once you said Price, Bay Area baller, that's another Price. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's
all
about the prices. Like even if they're he stands, he's like, yeah, he's a Price. He's okay. I'm like, man, sometimes you gotta draw the line, homie.
So I think out of all the people that are probably going to get, for sure playing time is probably our first three picks in some capacity, right? Jackson's going to play some, obviously. I think TDP is going to get play time. And I
TDP
think
is definitely getting playing time.
Yeah.
And so
and then
great.
And Danny Gray, exactly. So out of those three, I'm betting on TDP. Danny Gray is really not that much of a sleeper, right? Because everyone's knows him by the last month or so. TDP came out of nowhere for people, and I think also that it might look really nice, dude. Like I'm telling you, I like this kid. I mean, I'm not saying he's perfect or anything, but I think I don't like that people were crapping on him right off the bat. Like it kind of sucks.
I I didn't.
You were
I did.
disappointed of where he got picked, right?
Yeah, and the fact that I didn't know anything about him,
Which is fair.
there was
Yeah.
yeah, and which I had stated, like, I don't like this pick. The player might be fine. You know what I mean? The
Right.
player might be fine. I just don't like this pick at this point. You know what I mean? And nothing against the player. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally get you.
Yeah. Because
So
I
yeah,
was like,
that's my
doing
sleeper.
here? We're sitting on our hands. You know, like you're sitting there drafting stuff we
Guys,
already.
yeah, guys I think that will probably be on the practice squad but not make the 53.
I knew Shanahan was getting a wide receiver. I knew that. I thought they might even go with it at 62. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
61, yeah.
didn't.
Yeah, for sure. Because they
61
needed a deep threat, right? So we didn't have
Well,
that.
every year, Kyle Shanahan goes to the well. You know what I mean? If you noticed, like, how to put this. So the year that Debo was drafted, they went to the well. The year
What do
after
you mean
Debo,
by going to the well? I don't understand what you're saying.
go into the draft. You go into the draft. In fact, they went into the well twice that year at least. You know what I mean? Because they got Jalen Hurts. Because they knew they had to double down because one had to be a winner. You know what I mean?
Oh,
At
right.
least.
I see what you're saying.
So like, they're constantly going to try and make sure, because I believe at some point, like, let's see, Ayuk's going to be the next for the bag. Ayuk's going to get traded. Okay.
Well, we don't have to worry about Ayuk just yet because we have a 5th-year option on him.
Because you're only going to pay one good player in each position group. And after that, they're just going to keep drafting every year. And that's why I think Kyle is trying to, with his eyes, is trying to create like a wide receiver room like the Steelers have always had. But instead of doing it necessarily like, I don't know, coaching, it's going to be through his talent and his scheme, which may make these players look better than they actually are at times. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't have to worry about Brandon Ayuk just yet, right? First, he has to produce, right? Then they have to worry about it.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You see what I'm
I
saying?
understand. I totally understand what you're saying. I'm just telling you that, like, even if Brandon Ayuk goes crazy next year, we still have the 5th-year option on him. But I think I don't know. I
think you always trade him before, because you want the picks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're assuming that Brandon Ayuk is going to go crazy. Like with Trey Lance, I think he's going to spread the ball around more. So I don't think you're going to get, like, Debo is not going to get a crazy season like we've seen. Ayuk is not going to get the crazy season that we've seen.
You take Ayuk's 5th-year option, right? So it gives you another 2 years with him, right? This year and then next year, right?
Right.
And then you trade Debo and you pay Ayuk.
Yeah,
because
so
Debo can't go all that long. I don't want to pay it. You know what I mean? Like, boom, here's your check. Boom, there you go. And
yeah, I don't.
Or
I don't know what they're gonna do with Debo. I personally don't think he's gonna get traded. I think his team has kind of botched this whole thing. One day he will be traded.
Yes.
I think they kind of botched this whole thing. I think at this point, if the Niners want to do the same deal like the AJ Brown deal, I don't think we're going to see much. Like, if Debo signs a deal, it's going to be looking like the AJ Brown deal, right? If Debo it depends on how far the Niners want to take this, right? Debo really has no leverage. The only leverage that he has is to make this as ugly as possible, right? Which he's doing. Well, he's not doing anything crazy, but he's making it
He's
uncomfortable
not.
for the 49ers. Yeah.
He's not.
Yeah, he's not doing anything crazy, but the more that this drags along, right? The more things that you're going to see. The Niner fans are going to start to get more pissed at Debo. I mean, he hasn't done much, but every little thing that happens here, Debo's not doing himself any favors as far as that goes, right?
Why?
Because
Why does it matter?
I mean, why does it matter if the fan base cares or not?
Well, yeah.
I mean, from a team's point, it doesn't matter. But I mean, if you're a player, you're gonna care about those things, right? You're gonna care a little bit.
Another Quaalude, she gonna love me again.
He runs he runs a TD, and then people won't care anymore.
Exactly the point. Which I get. I get it. I'm not mad at the man. I'm not mad
at him. I'm just saying that the longer this drags out,
get your money, sir, and invest it wisely, please. I want you and your family to have generational wealth through this one chance in your guys' life, to have money. Not that it's like given to you. You're earning every bit of it, but please invest that, sir, wisely.
Yeah, so like the way that I see it is that Debo, unless it's for some other reason, which whatever it could be, but it doesn't. This is what I'm trying to make sense to people that think, oh yeah, Debo's just going to play the year out, or Debo's going to hold in and just loaf it, right? I go, well, that's stupid, because if they're not that far of money apart, playing on a $4 million contract, even if you're a hold in and like do the whole Antonio Brown thing, well, that's 1 year you've just lost $18 million, right? Because you could have been making 22 or 25 or anywhere from 18, $21 million you're losing by not playing, by not agreeing to the contract, right? So that 18, $20 million is going to be bigger than the difference that they have now between the contract. So that's the part that people don't understand. That's the part where I go on Spaces. I try this to explain to these people. And a lot of these people, like, I don't know, it seems like everyone thinks that they have some inside source that has some inside source or whatever. It literally reminds me of like high school kids, like junior high even.
Like, I just want to let everybody know I'm totally in the dark. I'm just speculating at every moment. Okay, just so everybody knows. That impression.
No, but I'm saying that like everyone is like, oh, I know someone that knows someone, or I heard. Everyone's like doing this stuff. It's like, oh, come on.
Look at Beckham Jr.
What's that? Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like, oh, brother. I go, the thing that I could make logical sense of this is I paint a picture of, hey, Debo stands to lose $18 to $21 million if he plays on this $4 million contract. Like that 18, 21 million is bigger than the difference of where he's a part on the deal with the Niners and him. So tell me, why would he do that? Not only he would lose a year of production, right, which he would care about, he would lose a year of being young. Like, he's not a young dude. He's 26 years old, turns 27.
Yeah. You're talking about also, like, not only do you want to get your contract, but you want to solidify your legacy. And sitting out a year in your 20s, you know what I mean? The later half of your 20s, when you could be producing 1,000-yard plus season, is not what you want to do to get a gold jacket. You know what I mean?
Right. And on top of that, if you do that, you hurt your brand. You hurt your you know what I mean? Like, his brand will not get any high. I mean, not saying it's at its highest point right now. Imagine if he did an Antonio Brown situation where he holds in, he loafs it, fakes an injury or whatever, right? and plays for $1 million, hardly ever produces on the field. What do you think his brand is the next year? He's not going to have that much. I mean, sure, everyone's going to know he's Debo, but he's not going to have the commercials and all those things when he could ride the momentum now and be unique, be Debo, right? Like, dude, it doesn't make any sense. Like, if I were the Niners, I'm pretty sure Parag is a smart guy. They're not going to wilt to this, right? Look how stubborn they are with Jimmy. You think, and that's with a player that's mediocre to average. How do you think? How stubborn do you think they're going to be with a player that's actually a pro, all pro? Like, like, so I just don't see it that way. But I have an inside source who's a cousin of another inside source who's actually the inside source that works for the 49ers says this. I'm like, oh, brother, give me a break.
Right.
But yeah, so it's like, I don't even now when I see Debo, like topics about Debo, I don't even bother clicking on it unless and give me Debo news that he's actually either gets traded or signs, and then I'll bother. Other than that, I won't even click on it.
All right. Is there anything else you want to talk about this evening?
No, I mean, we'll see what happens at center. That's the only thing that I'm really worried about at this point.
We got like 4 guys who can play. Seems like.
Yeah.
Poe, West. There's 2 other inside linemen.
Brendel will. If I had to guess, if Mac retires and they don't.
Bradford.
Yeah, if Mac retires and they don't bring like a J.C. Treader or someone else, most likely Brendel will probably start.
Seems like J.C. Treader is a no-go. It seems like words out across the league that he's asked out.
Practice. Yeah, he hasn't practiced the whole year.
Oh, really?
I mean, he played at a high level. He only missed 1 game, but the entire season he never practiced. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need somebody like that. That's not a.
We don't need a deep forward again, dude.
Dude, like Marshawn Lynch wasn't doing that, but that's different. That's Marshawn Lynch, and you're talking about he was running aggressively. So like Debo, at a certain point in time, Debo don't need to be doing practice. You know what I mean? He just needs to be, keeping in shape. You know what I'm saying? Doing all this stuff. He doesn't need to be touching no one. You know what I'm saying? He knows where he needs to be in the game. You know what I mean? On the field, in the play. You know what I mean? And that's about it. You know what I mean? He is the offense. You know what I mean?
What was the comment about Marshawn Lynch?
What do you mean? Oh, Marshawn Lynch, he didn't practice at times. Like there at the end, he would only show up for the games essentially.
Oh, right. Yeah, but that Marshawn Lynch at that time was on the team for 10 years, or whatever. J.C. Treader would be like a new kid. I mean, not a new kid, a new player on the team where and then offense. Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, we can't.
Yeah. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just, that statement is different, right?
You're talking about a running back versus an offensive lineman. Okay, so a running back goes out like Marshawn, right? Marshawn, you hurt? Okay, we got 2 other running backs. You know what I mean? So we can run them. You know what I mean? You rest up. We'll see how you are at the midweek. Maybe you could play next week. Maybe we'll sit you so you're totally healthy by 2 weeks from now. You know what I mean? But we got other running back. Center.
And then offensive line was important.
Something you want to just be.
You gotta gel with them. You gotta.
Yeah. You gotta
gel with your other guards. You're
those
the
5 guys that start the year is the 5 guys you want to end the year with. You know what I mean?
Right.
So.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if that's gonna happen. I mean, I wouldn't. If maybe his health is better, but that scared me when I saw that he didn't practice at all last year.
He's not coming back. Mac's not coming back. Yeah. And the word's out. So, and no one's like a good center is hard to come by and no one's picking them up. That's a telltale sign. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I was watching, who was it? Jackson Kruger Sports. It's a guy in Tampa.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? He does a lot of 49er stuff, but he does like all NFL stuff. Well, he was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the
He's kind
difference.
of got a weird voice. He's kind of like has a weird voice,
The
kind of like a
difference
Nate
between
Ainsley voice.
yeah, he's got like a speech impediment or something. Whatever. Like him talking is just gonna make things better. You know what I mean? Like him, the more he talks on camera, the more it'll make
Oh,
it
I
better.
didn't know that he had a speech impediment. I just
Or
thought that he
it
had a
sounds
really
like,
weird voice.
I'm guessing it's some sort of a speech impediment. You know what I mean? Like, because that's what like when you make like a weird sound when you talk, you know what I mean? Like it's got something, like around certain vowels or consonants or something like that. That's essentially a speech impediment.
Oh,
It's not
okay, yeah.
necessarily just stuttering or something like that, as far as I know.
Yeah.
As
So
far
that. What about that guy? What about him?
But he had said something about I don't even remember what, but it was about the reaches and about the steals. And they were talking about how steals aren't necessarily always a steal, because when a consensus of people all get together and when they're educated guess and say no on something. So you know how like when somebody's dropping, so like Drake Jackson.
Right.
Yeah, so if he was to continue dropping like before the Niners grabbed him and the Niners were like, "Oh yeah, 6th round, he's here." You know what I mean? We got a steal. No, it seems like you got a bust. You know what I mean? It's all intentions are that he could be a bust at this point because all other 30,
Every player can be a bust.
Right, but what they're saying is that once you've got 31 associations that all agree that they don't want them at that point, and then one finally does.
Well,
you know what I mean?
that's a little disingenuous. The problem I have with Jackson Kruger, or whatever his name is, I made a comment. He tried to compare.
I'm not talking about him specifically. I'm just talking about like he did a lot. He actually explained certain situations. I suggest you go back and look
I've
at
seen
it.
him before. So one thing that I saw his little. He did an article when he was trying to do this rudimentary way of trying to explain war for football with his crude ways of doing it, right? And saying that wide receiver was worth 4 wins, or a QB was worth 4.25. It's the one that Grant took it and ran with it, right? And then to me, I said, this is like a flat earther trying to explain flat Earth in their science. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that's how I took it. Like it's just a real stretch here of what you're doing. Like this is not deep analytics. This is very like the science that you would see from flat earthers, right? Like,
do you ever watch that flat Earth debunking videos like
no,
Simon?
I never watch any of that stuff. I just
Oh,
I'm
bro,
just saying how leaps
bro,
can be easily made, But so
everybody check out Simon down.
and the thing about it is that my thing is yeah, so I didn't agree with that thing there, what he was saying. But another thing that points out, just because a guy's dropping and no one's getting him, it's all different though, because there's so many variables involved in what the team.
We're talking about with when they're the rumors out or whatever. You know what I mean? Like DK Metcalf, right? So DK Metcalf was a steal, right? But if it was like
he's dropping, then
if it wasn't his 7 cone and it was like a domestic violence, you know what I mean? Then he's got a chance of having another DV, which takes him off the field, and it also shows you he's a bad person.
No, but what I'm just telling you is that some guys drop for circumstances has nothing to do with the performance or anything. It's just the variables of a draft, because some people might weigh something that they need for their team more than this or that. You get what I'm saying?
Nothing is ever absolute, but it's a way. I was trying to explain kind of like, how that is. It's like when there's a consensus among everybody, you know what I mean? It's a pretty sure thing. Not to say that they can't, you know what I mean? Because, how many people have been turned down with an invention or an idea, and then finally they said, screw you guys, I don't need your help anymore, I'll just do it myself. And then they do it and everybody wants to come buy back on and in. Oh, hey, you mind if I put up some money? No, I don't need you. You know,
Yeah,
like
the only time when you really know that it's going to be a steal is 2 years from now when you
yeah,
actually see what the player does. Because
it's 2
at the
years.
fact that the fact that he fell to 61 for whatever reason, right, is what it is. So it's like whether you call it a steal or not a steal, it's how you frame it, right? Because it's every team that grabs a person or whatever, they're going to want to paint it in the best light as possible, right? But we won't know how players are busts or steals until 2 or 3 years from now, right?
Well, yeah, and also like with Drake, like once he gets his confidence back, you know what I mean? I think playing at that low weight kind of messed with his pride a little bit because he was used to dominating people and then he's getting pushed around. So I'm sure him getting back up to his regular weight and winning
Yeah, and plus that
winning over
UFC was
and
a
over again and
crap
again.
show.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like he gets back into that winning, multiple reps in a row type thing. And then he gets that confidence up. And then once you got that confidence and your skill all wrapped into one, like
yeah,
I remember one time, like I was playing this one, this tackle. I think it was on the right side. It was on the right side. Well, I was on the left. He was a right tackle, and he was short and this and that. And I remember I just came up and just kind of like pushed him like that. I didn't even really make a move. I just kind of pushed him against the guard and then just kind of came around the edge. Like there was no respect for him because my confidence was up because the whole game I had just been working him that I just was decided I am just going to give him a little shove with my arm and that's just going to be it for him. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Oh boy. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
so we'll see what happens. I can't stand it that we're not seeing any footage of our voluntary workout stuff. This show is something.
right. Well, we've got all these undrafted free agents. I think we need to spend our time and go through. Do you want me to? You know what I should do? I should tweet out a link of this. You want me to send you a link of this? The guys.
What?
Yeah. Send a
What?
link of the undrafted free agent list. You know that list that I was pulling off of that we didn't see any names of like that before. There's that. You can copy that and check that out later. Should set this up in the private chat too, real quick, or the comments, real quick, just in case anybody wants that article. And well, I'm thinking we can call it an evening right here, sir. What do you think?
Yeah, man. Sounds good.
All right. I want to thank everybody for rolling through. We have 49er Minded, Barry a Baller. Did I miss anybody? Oh, Waruna. Waruna made it in the chat to say what's up. He had a work issue. I want to thank you, Swan, for coming in. Another
Anytime,
hour
man.
show. Yeah, I'm thinking. Do you want to like host your own show on here? You know what I mean?
No, I don't want.
Sure.
No, man. No,
All right.
I'm good. I just shooting the crap.
All right, man. Well, I want to thank you for coming out. All your draft knowledge. I know you did millions of those things.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of just do it like how a sports fan would do it, but just look at because I mean, I see what I see with my own eye of what an athlete looks like because I have my own preconceived notions of what an athlete looks like, but I'll leave it to the experts on what their scouting reports are. Sometimes I do, like, you know what I mean. I like it when I see those type of things. I don't think I know enough about it to say my own opinion, but I'll take opinions of others that I can trust and then add my 2 cents to it, right? Or where it makes sense into my overall outlook on things, and then I share that. Right. So that's how I've been going at it. But
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Everybody have a wonderful evening. With that, we're out of here.